Today I wanted to talk about a simple conversational mistake that might be costing us the quality of relationships and connection development that we might be seeking when we're meeting new people, or even with people that we might have had in our lives for a very long time. Hello everybody, welcome to another video. I'm coming to you from the first destination on my world trip, where we're in Bali at the moment for 6 months. It's currently the rainy season, so if you hear thunderstorms and lightning in the background, apologies, but we'll have to bear with. And I want to help you build a simple conversational technique that you can adopt when you're faced with new conversations with new people that can skyrocket your ability to build connections and take a conversation from small talk to depth very, very quickly. And I feel that this technique that I'm going to share with you guys today, that I always use myself, is something that's really going to help you to break out of the boring day-to-day conversational routines that a lot of people have, and allow yourself to stand out as somebody who really knows how to drive conversation in the right direction and allow people to feel seen and heard, and to actually get to the depths of new people that you're meeting and what they're all about. We've all been in a situation many, many times before. Sorry, people are building in the background, if you can hear that. It's really loud, I can't help it. We've all been in a situation many, many times before where we meet somebody new, or we're seeing somebody that we see often, and we're met with standard and boring questions that kind of lead us down the realm of small talk. It might look something like this. All right, how are you? How you doing?
Yeah, all right. You?
Yeah, pretty good, thanks. Pretty good.
How was your weekend?
Yeah, it was all right.
Yeah?
Yeah. Didn't get up too much. Yourself?
Same old.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, same old.
Weather's quite nice today.
It's all right. You up to much next weekend?
Nah, not really. Not sure yet. It's only Monday, innit? So. You?
Same old.
Oh, okay, great.
Fair.
Nice. I might get coffee.
Yeah?
Yeah. That's it? That's coffee?
Nah, I'm right.
Sure?
Yeah.
Alright.
Nah, I'm right.
Okay, well, I'm going to go. I'll see you soon, alright?
Yeah, nice chatting to you.
Yeah, nice chat to you.
Good to
you
see
later.
you.
Have a good day.
Yeah, you too.
We tend to oftentimes get into a bit of a rut with conversation when we're faced with these types of generalized, small talk, automatic questions. We tend to make the mistake of giving automatic responses. We're not really being present in the conversation when somebody asks us, how are we? Or what are we up to right now? The problem is that we're being asked boring questions. And in response to those boring and standard questions, we're giving people boring answers that are equally passive, and they don't really give much opportunity for further conversation to develop. When somebody asks you, how are you? And you just give them the simple response, I'm fine, or I'm good, you're not really giving them much to work with. You're giving them a single word, and there's not really much context behind that. We are also creating a dynamic in that relationship with whoever that person is, that potentially we are somebody who is seen as boring. You're not really allowing that person to get to know you. Like, people only see the very limited amount of time that they've experienced with you, and they then extrapolate that amount of time to their entire assumption about you as a person. So if every single time you see somebody, you give them the exact same conversation on repeat, and that conversation is coming from a place of being automatic and passive and you're not really engaging or trying to get to know that person or let them know anything about your day or what's really going on with you, you're kind of communicating to that person that you're not really that interested to get to know them on a deeper level. And maybe that you're also not a very interesting person because you're not really capable of going past that standard small talk perception. Once we start to realize how this automatic response that we give to these boring questions can actually really hurt and damage our relationships and prevent us from building deep and meaningful connections, we can then start reframing and thinking about how we can take these questions and these boring small talk approaches to initial conversation with people and instantly flip them on their head and turn them into something that we can use as a positive so we can build a deeper and more meaningful conversation. It's really important that in conversation we learn to be leaders and we learn to master these conversational techniques so that we can actually become the person who can steer those conversations and allow people to open up and become more comfortable to then ask you more penetrating questions and to tell you more detailed things about their day and about their lives. We need to be leading conversation from a place of high energy and engagement, and we have to be penetrating and present when we're talking to someone. My tip to kind of master this issue in conversation is to just answer the question that you wish you were asked. When somebody asks you something like, how are you? Instead of just answering the question, how are you, with I'm good, why don't you think about the question that you wished that they asked you and give them a response that allows them an opportunity to talk to you in a bit more depth. So for example, somebody might ask you, how are you doing? And you could say, I'm doing really great. I'm doing fantastic actually, because today I just went to a yoga class. I met all of these really amazing people. And then afterwards we did like a static dance session and I just feel super high energy. I'm feeling so positive and great about life right now. And it's really making me feel alive in this moment. What about you? How are you doing today? Instantly, with this really small shift where all you're doing is you're saying how you are, but you're actually giving someone a bit of information about something you did that day or something you're working on, something you're excited about. You're kind of giving people all of these little things that they can then latch onto and they can then build more conversation from. Whereas if you give somebody just, I'm good, how about you? You're not really giving that person much more to go off. So if they haven't really got anything that they feel inspired to talk about and build conversation from, you're kind of gonna kill the conversation right there. But from that single example, you're giving somebody an opportunity to ask you about your yoga class, about a static dance, about why it makes you feel so good, about the things that you're excited about right now, how long you've been doing those things for. And instantly you're opening up the door for conversation to develop outside of the small talk and into the realm of things that you're kind of interested in. Instead of just answering with a single word, but instead you're giving a bit of information, you're giving a bit of investment and vulnerability to the conversation. You're also giving people an opportunity to talk about the things that you're interested in and see if they have common ground with you. So say, for example, if I've just met somebody and they ask me, how are you? And I say, oh, I'm doing really, really great, thank you. I've actually just finished off a massive project, doing like a piece of artwork for a client, and I feel so amazing about it. I never thought I'd get an opportunity like this, and I'm just feeling really positive about the whole thing right now. You're kind of giving an opportunity to see then if the person that you're talking to has an interest in getting to know you on a deep level as well. You're creating such an opportunity to talk to somebody about something that you're passionate about. And because you've shared with them something that you're passionate about, you're also giving them a vehicle to share with you something that they are passionate about. And it's also giving you the opportunity to see if there is common ground where you guys connect on a deeper level. And then you're in a situation where you have an opportunity that you can learn something from each other and you can ask them, what kind of hobbies are you into? You know, like maybe they might ask you, okay, great, you went to your yoga class. How was that? Like, how long have you been doing it for? Then you can ask them, have you done yoga before? And if they say no, you can ask them, okay, what kind of hobbies do you like doing with your spare time? And before you know it, just that first response to that first automatic and boring question has allowed you to enter into a realm where you're already getting to know each other on a deeper level. Another side to this is if somebody asks you, how are you? And maybe you are having a day that you're feeling a bit stressed, you've got a couple things on your mind, and you're not feeling good, which is the response that you might automatically give without thinking. You can actually offer an opportunity with this particular person to be vulnerable and to allow them to see a side of yourself that makes them feel trusted and able to support you. And you know, oftentimes when we give somebody an opportunity to be there for us, even in a small way, with a small amount of support, it actually makes that person feel closer to us because we're allowing ourselves to be vulnerable with them. And that tells them instinctively that you feel a certain level of trust and comfort in them, and that makes them feel closer to you. So maybe you could respond with, I'm doing okay, but I've got a few things on my plate. This morning I had a lot of work that I needed to get done. I'm a little bit behind, or I'm having some issues with this. You don't have to go into too much depth, but just say, so I'm just working through that stuff right now, and I'm hoping that it will get better. Then you're giving that person an opportunity to show comfort for you and to support you through that moment in your life. This really depends, of course, on how comfortable you feel with that person and if you want to share that vulnerability with them. But oftentimes I find that people will surprise you when you show them that level of vulnerability. It makes them also drop their guard as well. And if they've got something that they're feeling stressed about, they could also come and confide in you about it. Ultimately, our goal in conversation when we're meeting new people is to demonstrate a level of presence and engagement that allows us to evolve that conversation to a place where we can actually get to know that person on a deep level. The way that this can really transform our relationships is because vulnerability and the excitement to share what's going on with you and in your life with somebody else, it really allows them to feel like you want to allow them in. And when you first make that step to allow somebody in, you're then giving them the opportunity to meet you halfway. Sometimes you're going to have moments where you talk to somebody and you try this technique and they're giving you an automatic response, and you try and give them a little bit more depth by telling them something that's going on with you right now, or something you're excited about, something that you're doing, and you try and use that as a vehicle for taking the conversation into a deeper level. And sometimes the person you're talking to might just have a lot going on, or they might not be in a headspace where they want to have a big conversation with you, and it might not always develop that far. And that's okay as well, because again, you're giving somebody the opportunity to meet you halfway. It's not about you completely dictating that conversation. It's about giving the opportunity for that connection to flourish if it's possible. We must always be leaders in conversation. We can't passively wait for other people to give us what we're looking for, to take the conversation to the next level, or to be more interesting. If you want that, you have to be the person who's going to be steering that direction. And over time, your relationships are going to start to develop to the point that whenever you see someone, you automatically don't even go into these small talk conversations, because everybody's so used to the fact that you're somebody that they feel comfortable with, and that you're somebody that knows how to go deep, or to make funny jokes, or to share more meaningful interactions. So that's my first tip for being a master in conversation. And over the next few weeks, I'm going to be sharing several other tips. So make sure that you subscribe to this channel and keep up to date with all of my latest videos, because I'm going to be sharing loads more tips like this in the future. And I want to hear all about how they might be working for you guys. So subscribe and give this video a thumbs up so we can share this content with more people like yourself who are looking to grow and develop in this area. Thank you so much for watching. I'm really happy to have you here on this journey with me. I'm excited to be growing with you, and I'm so grateful for each and every one of you who takes the time to sit down and watch these videos. Have a beautiful day. Speak to you soon. Bye.